welcome back in to the Scramble Drill Podcast. It is Ben Watts with us today. Landon Davis is on vacation, so we were able to get Josh in, coming in like a hero of old to save the day and be here with us today. Week 11 of the NFL is what we're talking. Josh, how are we doing?
Can't complain. As the old men say, I'm doing better than I deserve. And
Really?
Yeah. What can I say? I can't complain. Not a whole lot of bad things to say.
Yeah. I'm a little under the weather, so I apologize if my voice is different or frustrating. I feel better, but I sound terrible still.
You picked up that, what do they call that? The fall disease? You just start picking up random things in the fall?
It's all coworkers. I've been fine. But all the people I work with have decided to bring this crud in, mostly through their disgusting children. And this is where we're at.
It's the worst.
Yeah, not a big kid guy, but we persevere. Not a big kid guy.
Not big on the children.
They keep ruining things. The children, they're bringing stuff in. I don't like it.
You take them or leave them. I don't know.
You can leave the children. That's fine. I don't know why I went Trump there, but it is what it is.
They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. You know, it's so sad what they're doing in our country. These children, they're bringing things in, you know. And this used to be a terrific country. You know, it was so fantastic. You know, you had Ronald Reagan. He was a great president. You had George W. You know, we love W. But, you know, you had all of these people, and now they're ruining things. They're coming in everywhere.
Oh, there's nothing that can top that.
Yeah, there's nothing. My Trump impression is even better when I'm healthy.
Well, I was about to say, it's not that bad when you're sick.
No,
you get in that,
I get a few nuances.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
some nuance. Yeah.
Love him or hate him, but if you've ever tried to impersonate Trump and if you can come anywhere close to it, it's so much fun to impersonate Trump and put yourself just in the Trump headspace. And I'm working on like doing like the Trump ramble where he just talks about stuff, just anything. Like he follows squirrels in his conversation. Just listen to what he says. He will just go down any hole and just start talking about it. So.
My favorite thing he does right now is if a reporter asks a question that he doesn't like, he'll go, "Oh, that was so terrible. Who do you work for? You work for Bloomberg. Why do you even have a job? I can't believe they employ you. You're terrible. You're so bad. That was such a dumb question."
Did you see him on Air Force One? Called a reporter Piggy. Listen, hush, Piggy. You are fake news. Look, everything you say is a lie. I don't even know why you're here. You know, your credentials, they should have revoked you at the gate. You know, it's so sad what you're trying to do to our country. You know, this used to be a terrific country with news. You know, we had Fox News. We love Fox News. It's wonderful. But then you've got the lamestream media, you know, CNN. You know, I used to like CNN. I listen to CNN all the time. You know, they had all of these, you know, Bernie Sanders. He goes on CNN and, you know, he's rambling on.
It's beautiful. Anyway. It's beautiful. You wouldn't know this is a football podcast at all.
This is a football podcast. Look, we're not intentional. It's not being political. I'm just talking about what I think is funny, and listening to him ramble is hilarious. And trying to impersonate is a lot of fun.
He is a great rambler. I got to give it to him. He can just start talking, and it is because he's 79. I mean, it's exactly like your grandpa at Thanksgiving dinner. You sit down and start talking to him, and the conversation starts in one place, and you have no idea where it's going, and you're just sitting in there waiting to find out.
With
much fun.
Not with the Trumpisms, but like you would just start going down these rabbit holes, and he's just, yeah, Grandpa, I got you. No,
yeah,
that's cool, dude.
You go, okay, Grandpa. Okay, you just start nodding. Yeah. Okay, Grandpa.
Yeah, here's your pudding.
It's a wonderful time. Yeah, here's your. Somebody pass Grandpa the mac and cheese and chocolate pudding. Keep it rolling.
Yep. All right. Anyway, that out of the way, we're here to actually talk football. So let's just jump into it. Big week. A lot of big week things happening. A lot to dive into. Jets Patriots being the Thursday night game, which there's not a lot to dive into. Justin Fields. Well, start with Patriots. They're really good. Travion Henderson finally broke out. Josh, I know you've been waiting on that.
I have been
the granddaddy of them all. But I mean, there's really not much to say. The Patriots are really, really good, top to bottom. They have a really, really easy schedule rest away, and I think there's a realistic shot that they're the number 1 seed in the AFC. I would not have thought that going into this season, but with how easy their schedule is and the fact that they're 9-2 right now. It's getting close to a lock.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about their schedule a little bit here and there, and they just have, well, I'll just read it to you. Here's what they got the rest of the way. Bengals, Giants, Bills, Ravens, Jets, Dolphins. Toughest game on the schedule remaining is the Bills. They've already beat them once. They are probably going to be favored. I would guess they're going to be favored in every game except they'll probably be an underdog against the Ravens because Vegas loves the Ravens. So they'll probably be favored in every game except Bills and Ravens. But I think everybody would agree they have a coin flip's chance of winning every game left on their schedule.
I mean, as long as they don't slip up against a team that they shouldn't, like the Giants or the Dolphins. The only games left that they could or possibly should lose are the Bills and Ravens, which would put them at 14-4.
Yeah.
Final, and is that right? Or 13?
Oh, it would be
13-4.
Yeah.
13-4. That's probably worst case scenario, and I think there's a chance, like a good chance, they could beat the Bills or the Ravens, maybe even both. So I think we're getting into crunch time of it's realistic the Patriots are the number 1 seed in the AFC. Do I trust them to win in the playoffs? Not yet.
No.
Not with this younger team. But
it depends on the matchup.
Big deal if they get it.
It depends on the matchup, but if you're telling me that you've got to pick Drake May and company against Josh Allen or even Lamar in the playoffs in a game that you got to have, I just don't know if I could do it. But maybe they're a year away.
If this team's still, if this team's a year away with what they've done, that's impressive. That's really impressive.
If they go get like Jordan Tyson in the draft, they won't be able to. But if they get a good receiver, maybe add somebody in free agency and add somebody in the draft, this is a really good team. It's a great defense. You cannot run the ball on the Patriots. Like, you just can't. They're the best run defense in the NFL. And Drake May, it's probably either Drake May or Stafford that wins the MVP, right?
I think right now Stafford has got the stranglehold on it, but
what is he? 27 touchdowns, 2 picks. The stats are stupid.
Yeah, he's got insane stats right now. And the MVP vote, regardless, I do think Stafford has the lead on it anyway. But I think if it comes down to it, the MVP vote is going to favor Stafford regardless. He's the older guy. He's the vet. He's the guy that has never won one. He's the guy that people are going to want him to win one. It's just the reality of what the MVP is sometimes.
Yep.
So I think he wins it, but it's not even anywhere close to out of the question that Drake May can steal this thing away.
Yeah. I have nothing to say about the Jets. They're terrible.
No, the only thing to watch is Fields got benched, so
yippee.
Maybe something exciting can happen. I need Breece Hall for fantasy.
Yeah,
but
it's an
Garrett
improvement.
Wilson's out. It's
an improvement in that sense because I think Tyrod Taylor it's not going to be good, but I think it'll be a little bit better. But Justin Fields has been putting up.
That's all I care about at this point.
Yeah, Justin Fields has been putting up comically bad quarterback stats. I mean, you have multiple weeks where he has thrown for less than 100 yards. You have a 6 of 11 for 54, a 6 of 12 for 46. 9 of 17 for 45. And then against New England, he threw for 116 yards. He's been terrible.
Bad. Yeah, anyone who was saying like that the Bears should keep Fields and draft like Marvin or something with that first pick and not get Caleb, yeah, that was a bad take. That was a really bad take. All right, moving on to Okay, it's first on my thing. Never mind. Go to London or Madrid first, because that was the 9:30 game on Sunday. Dolphins, Commanders. No Jaden Daniels, no Terry McLaurin, so the Dolphins are able to get a overtime win against the Commanders. It's another game that's just it's not exciting on any front. I mean, the Dolphins, Tua, 170 yards, no touchdowns. They just kind of do what they have to do to win this game. We've been talking about it. We don't really want to talk about the Dolphins on this show very much.
Yeah, didn't Landon say, was it last week, that we're not talking about the Dolphins again?
No, he said this like 4 weeks ago. This was a while ago.
There's not. Here's what we know. We know that Devon Achane is a stud, and Tua Tagovailoa is the most limited quarterback in the NFL, and they are a sunk ship that has won a couple games.
Yeah, if you listen to us, last year or the year before when we were still doing fantasy football, it took me a while to come around on Devon Achane, but I mean, I've come around on him, and this dude, we need to have conversations about him being a top 5 NFL running back, like legitimately.
The thing with him is, first of all, they don't have a good offensive line. I think that is just worth noting, because I think he is 3rd or 4th in rushing right now in the NFL. As a guy who comes in the league at 5'9", 191, and you know what he can do as a pass catcher. But he's like a legit good runner, which is impressive. And I mean, we saw it that first year where it was like 7.5 yards a carry, and you go, oh, okay, maybe you have something there. But for his career, he's a 5.5 yard per carry rusher, which is it's just incredible. I don't think I've ever thought about the Dolphins having a good offensive line, and he's
insanely efficient. I still don't love a guy his size getting 21 carries. I just don't, because it scares me, but he's stayed really healthy this year. He's shown he can handle it. I don't think they need to make a habit of it, but I mean, his efficiency combined with his skill set. Pay attention to, Mike McDaniel. Landon says this every week. It's a toss play, screen play, swing pass to Devon Achane. Just whenever the Dolphins run a play, the opposing defense just needs to go with him, because it's some sort of play to him. And then 3 or 4 times a game, they'll get the ball to Jalen Waddle.
He's the entire offense. It's pretty impressive.
I've got nothing on the Commanders. I mean, Marcus Mariota is what he is. Their running game is not good. Their weapons are not good. Their defense is not good. It is.
I do want to note this for the stat junkies. Jordan Brooks logged 20 tackles against Washington.
That's impressive.
Just want to throw that out there. I don't think you see that too often, but 20 total tackles.
10 solo, but he was involved in 20.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably leads the NFL in tackles. He did that in Seattle one year. But
yeah, Commanders. Anyways, they made some mistakes at the trade deadline, not moving off some of these veterans. I think they're going to regret that.
Yep.
But they're in the situation they're in now. I still think they've got the contracts they've got are pretty good, I think. So they're going to have a lot of money to spend in the offseason. They're not weighed down by the veterans they have, but they do have a lot of veterans. They're a very old team, so they're gonna have to figure out a lot of stuff in free agency.
They're going to be shedding contracts, is what they're going to be doing in free agency.
Yes. All right, let's get this game over with for me, because this was Panthers beat the Falcons 30-27. Bryce Young sets a franchise record with passing yards. We let Bryce Young throw for 448 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Fire everyone. Fire everyone.
I saw where Bryce Young is 5-2 in his career against the Falcons. And
it doesn't shock me.
And he's like 7-25 or something against the rest of the NFL in his career. It might not be that bad, but it was not good. and his yards per game in his career against the Falcons is like 250 yards, and against the rest of the NFL, it's like 190.
The Falcons have been outscored 63-27 by the Panthers this year.
Yeah.
And we got shut out in the first game against them.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to take away from this game other than, I mean, I even still, like, I don't know what you take away from this, because the Falcons to me are a foil for anybody trying to logically watch football games, because they, I think, at full strength, are a good football team that has found ways to lose games. But they keep finding ways to lose, and then now their quarterback is out, and they're going to be terrible, and we're going to probably look up at the end of the year and go, that was an awful season. But for like 9 weeks of the year, they looked like they could salvage it and have a halfway decent year. They just keep finding ways to lose dumb games.
We're at 3-7 now. The season really it's out of reach at this point. And the good news is we could get a really good player with our first round pick. Oh, wait, we traded that to the Rams.
Oh, no. Help is not on the way.
I don't know if Michael Penix is the answer. He's going to have another. I think this is his third ACL repair.
Yep.
My man has 68-year-old knees at 25 years old.
Yep.
Can we just give him Kirk Cousins' knees at this point? Like, I feel like that would be better than the knees he currently has.
It's probably a little bit better, yeah. I don't know how you feel about, I don't know if you know enough about Penix yet at this point, because you've seen moments where you think, yeah, that's a franchise quarterback, but he's also been pretty inconsistent, which you would expect for a young starter, and you have the injury thing. So,
I mean, the situation we've put ourselves in, it doesn't matter anymore if Penix is the answer or not. He's what we have, and it's all we're going to be able to get. We had no first-round pick. We traded that. I mean, James Pierce has been really, really good. James Pierce has been excellent in his rookie year. With how the season's gone, we still overpaid, because we paid a first-round pick last year and our first-round pick this year, which is probably going to be a top 10 pick, to move up and get him. So it's going to be hard for us to find ways to improve the team. I mean, we still got 2 second-round picks. I do know that. So it's not hopeless, but it's going to be frustrating seeing the Rams get that pick in a season that just we had so many opportunities to be good, and we just didn't take it. That's very frustrating as a fan. So it's not complete doom and gloom, but I also would not be upset if Atlanta decided to look for a new coach either. Because when you got this amount of talent, on both sides of the ball, and you find ways to lose games, that's coaching.
The Falcons, in my mind, have been the biggest underachiever, maybe outside of the Dolphins this year. Like, they have pieces, and I think you could argue that they've been a bigger underachiever, because I personally think Penix is better than Tua, and you've got better weapons and a roster as a whole, and they just haven't been able to win.
We have the same amount of wins as the Dolphins, I believe, if I'm looking at that correctly.
Dolphins actually have one more win.
Let me check.
I think the Dolphins are 4-7.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, so you're even worse than the Dolphins, a team that we decided we wouldn't talk about anymore.
Excellent. Can we just not talk about the Falcons anymore?
We can do that. They're going to be unwatchable the rest of the year, so we can just avoid them.
They are in the Dolphins category.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to talk about them. All right, moving on. Let's go Bengals Steelers. Joe Flacco does not do it twice. The Steelers get another win, but it was not pretty. You lose Aaron Rodgers in this game. They said he's not going to need surgery, but I don't think he's practicing right now, so I would not be surprised to see Mason Rudolph start next week. It's just that kind of season for the Steelers. They had every opportunity to run away with this division, and they have failed to do so. The Ravens are now a game back. I think the Bengals are maybe 2 games back, either a game or 2 games back. I can't remember.
Bengals are 3 games back.
3 games back. Not impossible for the Bengals to catch them, but it's gonna be tough. But this shouldn't even be a conversation. It should not be right now. The Steelers should be seeing who they're going to play for their home playoff game. That's what they should be doing, and they're not going to do that.
No, I don't. I mean, they're the 4 seed in the AFC right now, and Mason Rudolph is like a competent backup, but you don't feel amazing about it. They're not fun to talk about. There's really nothing. They're such a limited team, and they've benefited from a division that's had quarterback injuries. But this would be a team that's getting the belt every week if Joe Burrow and Lamar were healthy the whole year.
But quarterback injuries, Joe Burrow practiced fully today.
I don't know if that means he starts on Sunday, Ben, but I think that means he certainly could. And if that's the case,
I think he's for sure going to play Thanksgiving, wouldn't you say? For sure playing Thanksgiving against the Ravens.
I would think.
If he's practicing fully now, there is a chance he does play this Sunday. I personally would love to see it just because it's Joe Burrow. The league's more fun with Joe Burrow. Man, it's going to be hard for them to make us pull anything out of this season and make it serviceable, but
well, here's the thing. Here's your next 4.
I want to see it.
Your next 4 are Patriots, Ravens, Bills, Ravens.
God. They got to go 4-0 in that stretch, just about.
And they're probably going to go 0-4 if we're being totally honest.
If they have Joe Burrow, there's a chance.
Zach Taylor just did a press conference where he said that he just did a press conference where Joe Burrow will not be starting on Sunday.
Shut up, Zach. You don't know anything. You shouldn't even have a job, Zach.
This was 12 minutes ago on ESPN.
I don't like Zach Taylor. I've not been quiet about that on this podcast. I do not like Zach Taylor.
He needs to go. They're going 0-4 in that stretch. I hate to break it to you.
I'm not surprised they're sitting Burrow in that game because no Jamar Chase either. Be tough to bring him back early from an injury he wasn't even supposed to be back from till mid-December, and then not having Jamar Chase. Did you see the appeal he filed with the league?
The spitting appeal?
Yeah.
I didn't see the appeal, no, but I saw the incident.
So it's just funny to me, honestly. Like he got suspended for 1 game for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. He said he didn't spit on him, and then like HD video of him spitting on Jalen Ramsey comes out. So Jalen said he spit on him. Chase said he didn't. They obviously they suspend him after the video comes out, and then Chase files an appeal with the league, saying that he shouldn't be suspended because if I wanted to spit on Jalen Ramsey, I would have spit in his face, not on his jersey. That is the funniest appeal I think I've ever seen. I was worried they were going to, after that appeal, suspend him for more games.
That is the worst appeal ever.
You have to overturn this because if I meant to spit on him, it would have been in his face.
He's like, I may have spit on him, but I didn't because if I were going to do it again, I would have done it better.
If I was going to do it on purpose, it would have been in his face.
That's incredible.
That's a fantastic appeal. That would have been hilarious if they would accept, like, you know what? You're right, Jamar. You're right. You would have spit in his face. Take the suspension back.
I respect the hustle and the cojones that it takes to file that appeal. I bet the guy at the league office was like, yeah, right. Guy at the league office was like, what are we doing? Be serious. What are we doing?
You've got to be kidding me. Anyway, I enjoyed reading that today. That was fantastic. Jaguars, Chargers. Jaguars throttle the Chargers 35-6. Trevor Lawrence, so-so. Running game, pretty good. Bashal Tootin, Travis Etienne are kind of in a 50-50 split right now, but it's working. They're both having really, really good weeks. I have less to say on the Jaguars in this game and more to say about the Chargers. I'm assuming you're the same way.
I don't know how deep you want to go into this, but to me, this is a game that you just throw it away. You ball it up and throw it away for both teams. I don't think
I kind of think so too.
I don't think there's anything constructive you can take away from this game. I think it was a total fluke. This was just like, what? Okay, you move on.
I think it was fluke-ish. I mean, the running game was not existent for the Chargers. Justin Herbert got nothing going in the passing game. And I'm not going to take all the blame away from Herbert, but they have possibly the worst offensive line in the NFL. There are so many injuries on that line. It's going to be hard for the Chargers going. I mean, they got a brutal stretch of games coming up. They're ahead of the Chiefs right now in the division, but they got a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, they're limited, but even still, this was one of those games where it's like, all right. I mean, it's so bad that you kind of just go, well, all right. I don't know what you take. I don't know what you do with it.
You saw the graphic 2 weeks ago, and we've been known to disagree with PFF on time to time, but
yeah,
where like literally every lineman they had was either next to last or last in PFF grade.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It's symptomatic.
That's got to be the worst offensive line in NFL history.
Yeah, the PFF grades are not the end all be all, and I most of the time don't agree with them.
They're not the Bible.
But they do sort of tell you something when all of their guys are graded terribly.
Man, I feel bad for Justin. I feel bad for him. We'll move on. The game of the day, tucked away in a 1 o'clock window for some reason, was the Bills and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Josh Allen puts the cape on. He did this a couple times last year, and he did it again on Sunday. 317 yards passing, 40 yards rushing, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. We've got a little bit of the Josh Allen of a few years ago where the turnovers are there, but also the superhero plays are there. So you got to take the good with the bad sometimes with Josh Allen, and I would rather just live and die by him, if that makes sense. I let him do what he needs to do, because you're going to win more games when he does this stuff than when he doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite thing about Josh Allen is you look up just about every Sunday and he's broken somebody's NFL record. It's great.
Yeah, he broke Cam. I was watching the game and they kept talking about, he's like 2 rushing touchdowns away from breaking Cam Newton's record or something like that for quarterbacks. And in my head, I'm like, he'll get that in a couple weeks and he'll have that record. No, he got that record Sunday.
Yeah, he didn't want to play around with it.
I'm not waiting a couple weeks. I'm going to get it now.
Didn't want to play with his food, just took care of business. You love to see it. I mean, this was, if you sat down and watched this game on Sunday, you were thoroughly entertained. You got to see, Baker wasn't amazing, but he was solid. You got to see Tampa Bay flexing the run game, and then you just got to see Josh Allen put on the cape. That's a fun,
I'll take that every single Sunday.
That's a great experience on a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, don't want to put down Tampa too much. I mean, Baker was fine. They're still struggling finding weapons in the passing game. There's just so many injuries that they've got right now. But the running game, I think we can bury Rachaad White now, because every time Sean Tucker gets more than like 12 carries, he is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now,
remember when he came out and we loved him We're like, this guy's great, but then there was some kind of a medical thing that he dropped, and I think it was like to the 5th round, maybe.
Yeah.
And
No, I do
the
remember that.
dude is talented. He just has never had an opportunity to get on the field. But the times that he does get on the field, he's great.
Now, Bucky's going to come back potentially this week, and that's going to slow everything down for him. But I swear every time Sean Tucker gets 12 or more carries, he breaks the league wide open.
Yeah, he's great. He's amazing.
Yeah. It's concerning still for the Bills that they have no run defense, but it is what it is right now. I trust Josh Allen. Let's put it that way. I trust Josh Allen for the Bills. There's a lot of holes on this team. Their weapons are not very good. They're turning to the shell of Gabe Davis, if that tells you anything about how their season is going right now. Yikes. Tyrell Shavers is their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, that's bad.
I don't know. I only know Tyrell Shavers' name from Hard Knocks. That's the only reason I know he exists.
When I saw the sleeper notification that he had scored Sunday, I had to look him up because I saw the name and I was like, that? I've never read that name before. So I looked him up and I was like,
There's 14. I thought they got Stephon Diggs back. I'm like, when did that happen? No, that's Tyrell Shavers.
The more you know. Now you have a thing that you can use in trivia night.
But I'll take it. Great game all around. I'm surprised this was in a 1 o'clock window and not the 4 o'clock game, but I'll take it. I don't care. All right. Bears, Vikings. Let's start with the Bears. They get a win against a struggling Vikings team. They run the ball pretty well. Caleb doesn't throw any touchdowns, but he doesn't turn the ball over either. I don't want to say, like, get ahead of myself with Caleb Williams and say, things are like he's found himself, but he's starting to settle down, I think, in Ben Johnson's offense, if that makes sense. He hasn't mastered it by any means, but he's not losing them games.
Well, he's not
doing what it takes right now.
He's not losing them games. I'm just not convinced he's any good. Like
I'm not sold on him yet, but I like that he's not trying to do too much.
No, he doesn't turn the ball over, which you like to see. But you have a little bit of this, like it's the bad side of the Aaron Rodgers not turning the ball over thing. Remember a few years ago when he was getting so much crap in the media because they couldn't really pick any nits in his game other than the fact that he would sometimes get really conservative. He would turtle. And it turned into this knock on his game where it was like, okay, his stats look good, but you watch the game sometimes and you have these lulls where the offense kind of is sluggish for 3 or 4 drives in a row. And it's because he doesn't take a shot. He doesn't really force anything into a window. He doesn't make anything happen. He plays the game as it comes to him, which means that he doesn't ever put the ball in harm's way. But you also have these moments where the offense kind of turtles. And I feel like you have a bizarro version of that with Caleb Williams at times where the stats look okay. He doesn't really turn the ball over. He doesn't kill you, but he doesn't really do anything for long stretches in games to actively win you the game. And he does have the occasional game where he just kind of like falls apart. So I don't know, maybe he'll get that out of his system. You've got 2 games this year where he put a cape on, and then you've got pretty much every other game where it's like he's not horrendous, but he's not really good either. And I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. I guess as a coach, you feel good about it because he's not losing you the game, but it's just kind of like, yuck.
I think Ben Johnson is happy with it. I think
he's glad he's not screwing everything up.
He's working on the brainwash, quote unquote, for Caleb Williams. Like he's undoing everything bad. He's trying to rebuild Caleb from the ground up, and he's getting him under control now. And I think they're going to get a point where maybe I don't know if they don't trust if he doesn't trust him fully yet, but once he can get the mental part down for Caleb and settle him down and get him comfortable, then he can start unleashing him a little bit.
Maybe that is the case.
But they're winning games right now. They're 7-3.
Yeah.
They are atop the NFC North.
Yeah.
That was not on my bingo card.
Well, there's a very good chance they win that division because do you really trust Green Bay? I mean, they're talented, but do you really trust Green Bay to?
I like their defense.
I don't know.
I mean, their defense is really good. I think Jordan Love is good. They'll figure something out. I don't know what that looks like quite yet. I still trust Detroit with their talented roster overall is insane. We'll talk about them in a little while. I definitely don't trust Minnesota. And that would be solely on the shoulders of 9.
He's so bad.
It's time for 9 to go.
He's not good.
I speak a little German. 9. Every time I see JJ McCarthy, I go 9, 9, 9.
I just remember, and maybe this is the confirmation bias, but I just remember when he came out as a prospect. I didn't see it. I don't think you saw it either. But he had so many defenders as the prospecting people. There were so many people that were just planting their flags all in on JJ McCarthy, and I just never saw it in college. I was like, I don't know what you're standing on here. And then you get him in the NFL with Kevin O'Connell in the best possible situation for a young quarterback, and he looks horrendous. They're hiding him. Like I
was never sold on him like, oh, I think he's going to be a fantastic, just top tier NFL quarterback. But I thought Kevin O'Connell, like, if he's going to go somewhere where I feel good about him, it's with Kevin O'Connell and Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. Like he'll be just fine there. And he is so impressively subverted all my expectations. Like I guess I don't know what I was necessarily expecting. I wasn't expecting superstar production, but I'm like, he can do what Sam Darnold did. Like, I thought that would be pretty easy to replicate. Like, do what Darnold did. Maybe you're not going to get Kirk Cousins numbers right away, but like, you're going to be safe. Kevin O'Connell's going to set you up some layups. You'll hit Justin Jefferson. You'll hit Hawkinson. They'll be able to run the ball. No, he's not able to do any of that.
Yeah, I don't know what, maybe he'll fix things, I guess, down the stretch, but for the season, he's averaging 53% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, 8 picks. He's thrown an interception in every game he started, and he's got 3 multi-interception games.
I understand he is still essentially, quote-unquote, a rookie. Like, he didn't play his rookie year, so his first game action is now, but it's very frustrating to watch. Very frustrating.
Yeah, I hate it. I can't watch them play because he's so bad.
He's ruining Justin Jefferson for me. I love Justin Jefferson. One of my favorite players in the NFL. And I can't watch him because of JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
And you can see my one of my hopes, honestly, is Justin Jefferson, because you can see him just livid on the sidelines. Like, that's a player that you have to keep him happy. So they're going to work to fix this as soon as possible, because Justin Jefferson is wildly unhappy right now.
I would be too.
Yeah, I cannot blame him. Let's move on. I don't have a ton on. I really have basically nothing on this game. The Titans win 16-13.
We don't need to talk about
barn
this game.
burner.
This was gross.
Yeah, I mean, just Davis Mills. Yeah, no. Next. Packers Giants. Packers get another win. It was probably a little closer than you would like, but it is what it is. Jordan Love actually gets hurt in this game. And so does Josh Jacobs. I think they said, let me just go back and double check. I think Love's going to play, but Jacobs might be out a couple weeks.
I've heard mixed reporting on Jacobs. I've heard that he might play Sunday, but that also he might be out 2 or 3 weeks. I don't really know, to be totally honest with you.
Love is healthy. Love fully practiced.
Okay. Has Jacobs logged a full practice yet this week?
Jacobs did not practice today. We're recording this on Wednesday. They said he's day-to-day right now, but they're saying it's most likely he's going to miss one game for sure.
That seems probably, yeah, if you don't even get a limited on a Wednesday, that typically means you're going to be out on Sunday.
Yeah, so probably not going to see Josh Jacobs, who right now kind of is their offense because they really have no identity outside of him. They've got a bunch of wide receiver threes.
Weirdly.
Why is if Romeo Dobbs is your top option, you don't have an identity in the passing game? I'm sorry, it just is what it is.
It's so weird. He has been their most consistent pass catcher this year, and it's not to say that he's been great, but he's just been the most consistent.
I'm trying to think of the other players in this class, but has Matthew Golden been the biggest disappointment this year of the rookie class?
Terrible.
Like at least of the first rounders.
He's had one halfway decent game. He had 3 for 86 against Cincinnati about a month and a half ago. But yeah, he's been terrible.
That's not going to do it. Yeah, I don't have a ton. I mean, their defense is great. You got Micah Parsons out there, but the offense is it's frustrating to watch right now. They got to figure out some kind of identity. And if they don't have Josh Jacobs, it's really going to be tough to figure out an identity.
Yeah, they could really use Tucker Kraft right about now. That's what it looks like.
Hate that he's out for the year. Giants side. We've said this jokingly on the podcast before, but I think it should be the case. Jameis Winston is all-time backup.
Yeah.
Like as soon as a quarterback goes down in the NFL, the first one to lose a quarterback, Jameis Winston goes in for that team. They should all 32 teams should have a Jameis Winston playbook.
Yeah. No, he's so much fun. He's not actually all that good, but he's so much fun. And it's great.
It's awesome. And I don't want to see him in the Giants because the Giants don't have any weapons, but I want to see him go in for like the Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh my gosh.
We're going in, and Jameis is going to throw the ball 50 times. Like we're going in preconceived, he's throwing the ball 50 times.
That's lovely.
I want 4 touchdowns and I want 4 pick sixes.
I would have loved for him and Malik Neighbors to get a game together, but
that would have been fun.
That
would have been a lot of fun. All right, let's move on. We're in the 4 o'clock window now, I believe. Rams, Seahawks. Rams, it wasn't flashy. Stafford throws another 2 touchdowns, only 130 yards. Kyron's pretty good on the ground. Was not an incredibly flashy game for them, but it didn't need to be. They win 21-19. They do exactly what they have to do to win. They're, clean with the football. Don't turn it over. I think Puka was the only one who turned it over, so if that's the case, I feel okay. That's Puka Nacua. You're okay. The talking point is on the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks might have the best defense in the NFL, but it doesn't matter when Sam Darnold decides to throw 4 picks in a game.
Yeah, that was rough. In this game, you saw the new version of Sam Darnold and the old version in the exact same game. You saw boneheaded picks, but you also saw, at times, precision, just like hot knife through butter, in moments, in spurts. And then it would go away, and then he would do something stupid, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's the Sam Darnold we all know and love. But
yeah,
if he wouldn't have turned the ball over, they would have won this game going away.
I think they definitely win this game. I mean, well, it's hard to say for sure because the Rams didn't really feel much pressure to turn it on, so maybe Stafford and the boys figure something out. But I agree with you. I mean, you lose by 2 points in this game, you do probably win. It's hard it's tough to put it all on one player, but this has to solely sit on Sam Darnold's shoulders, this loss.
Yeah, you turn the ball over 4 times, you're probably going to lose, especially against a team like the Rams,
who's one of, if not the best team in the NFC, with the favorite MVP candidate.
Yep.
You just can't do it. 49ers Cardinals. The NFC West all played each other this week. Brock Purdy finally returns for the 49ers. And it shows 19 of 26, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Christian McCaffrey, 3 touchdowns. George Kittle, 2 touchdowns. That's what I'm used to from the 49ers. That's what I'm talking about.
Efficient. You play the Cardinals and you kill them. That's a beautiful thing. I don't have much to say about the 49ers other than you get your quarterback back and things look good.
Yeah, I think Mac Jones filled in admirably, but that's the reason he's the backup. There's a reason Brock Purdy's the starter.
He's a very good backup, but he is a backup. The thing worth mentioning here is that Jacoby Brissett playing for the Cardinals is really fun, and they are now watchable again, folks. We can talk about the Cardinals. They're now
he set an NFL record. Did you see that?
47 completions.
That may never get broken.
That one's nuts. Michael Wilson has 15 for 185. What in the world?
I think I played against Michael Wilson in fantasy and was...
Of course you did.
Shock and awe. I faced right there. My gosh.
Now, he's been good. He's been good all year, but
that's
you haven't seen
Chase
that.
Numbers he put up.
Right. I mean, he's a good wide receiver 2. Hey, honestly, he's a really good wide receiver 3. He's a fine wide receiver 2 if you have a stud wide receiver 1. But dang, 15. I didn't know that there was that in there. And Jacoby Brissett has been, for the fantasy football folks, he has been a top 10 quarterback in fantasy 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, I'm confidently starting Jacoby Brissett in our listener league this week. Confidently.
It's a beautiful thing.
And if you are facing Trey McBride in fantasy,
yikes.
Landon sent this text in our group chat, but he is going to be a problem in garbage time because the Cardinals are going to get killed in all their games. But Jacoby Brissett is going to sling it regardless. So Trey McBride, let's just go ahead and have a little bit of a conversation here. I know everybody wants to put Brock Bowers as the top tight end in football, but Trey McBride is 25 and doing what he's doing right now. I think he's got to be number 1.
I wouldn't do that, but the situation for McBride is better. Brock Bowers is playing with some idiots right now, and I think he's a better player.
It's hard to say that Trey McBride is playing with geniuses. I mean, he's got Jacoby Brissett and Marvin Harrison Jr. isn't even playing right now. Look at the run game that Arizona has.
I mean, we are 2 weeks removed from 12 for 127 and 3 from Brock Bowers with a team of idiots.
Yeah, but McBride is doing 12 for 150 every week. He just doesn't score as many touchdowns. Well, he's got 7 this year.
This is the argument, though, is situational. I think if you have Bowers in this situation, the stats are just as good, if not maybe a little bit better. Because he's a unicorn to me, like an absolute unicorn. And McBride is obviously amazing. But if you want to have the conversation,
it's hard not to say
better,
McBride is a unicorn at this point as well.
There is. Here's what I mean by unicorn. There's not a single thing that McBride does playing the position better than Bowers does. And Bowers does a couple things better than McBride does. And I think that's
Let's just
inarguable.
agree we're watching Travis Kelce. They have 2 Travis Kelces right now. We have 2 Travis Kelces.
And Bowers is more athletic, better after the catch than Travis Kelce ever was. Honestly, Bowers is the best after the catch tight end in the history of the NFL.
Kyle Pitts could be.
I knew it. I knew it.
Kyle Pitts could be.
I knew it.
You walked right into that one, you fool.
I set you up. I gave you a little T-ball pitch on that one. That was the slow pitch on Saturday mornings with the kids that just want the juice boxes.
Give me a hard one, Josh. Gosh. All right. That's all we got there. The 49ers are back. Cardinals are fun. Let's go to a team that's not fun. That would be the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore gets the win, but it was up for debate the whole game as to whether the Ravens were actually going to win. Cleveland had the lead going into the fourth quarter, and the Ravens are able to sneak away with the win with a trick play. Mark Andrews' 35-yard touchdown run of all people, which is very interesting. But this is one of the worst regular season games I think I've ever seen Lamar play. He was
I think it's the worst in probably 2.5 years.
Yeah, but this was awful. And
he's
sacked
had some stinkers against the Browns
4 times by I will say this. Cleveland is always frustrating because their defense is so good. Like, you send Joe Burrow out there, and it's partially from a fantasy perspective because, like, oh, I got Joe Burrow this week. Who's he playing? Cleveland. Oh, gosh. Got Lamar Jackson. Who's he playing this week? Cleveland. Oh, boy. Because you're not gonna be able to score that much on the Cleveland defense. But the good thing is you also don't have to score that much on the Cleveland defense to beat them. So,
yeah,
it sucks watching Cleveland games because their defense is so good and their offense is so bad that you're going to be in for an ugly game on both sides.
Myles Garrett has 15 sacks already this year.
We're going into week 12. He could have 20.
He might have 25 at the rate he's going. He might break the record.
He has.
What
did he have 5
22?
sacks in a game earlier this year?
That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 5 sacks 2 weeks ago. Then he has 4 sacks today or on Sunday.
He's got 10 sacks in his last 3 games.
That's incredible.
That's insane. And they're losing. They've lost them all.
Because clearly they suck. I said at the beginning of the year how I didn't think they should fire Stefanski. Okay? I think my mind is changing. This is ridiculous, dude.
Well, their quarterback play is horrendous. I mean, Dylan Gabriel doesn't lose you the game, but he's not good. And then Shedeur Sanders comes in and goes 4 for 16.
I'm glad Shedeur came in and proved all of the haters right.
He's about to get another start on Sunday, and we're about to really see, okay, 4 quarters of Shedeur Sanders, what's it look like? They're probably going to get destroyed.
And if
there's
an opportunity to look good, they're playing the Raiders. I'm sure Max Crosby is about to eat this up. He is so excited to get to face Shedeur Sanders, but I mean, I don't really know what to say because I can't be too critical because like I hear so many different sides of the coin for Shedeur because there's some people arguing, oh well, he has no reps with the starters this year, and then I go and listen to real NFL quarterbacks talk about it, and I hear them say, well, backups very rarely ever get reps with the starters anyway, and he's been a third stringer for most of the year, so no wonder he's had no reps with the starters. I've never been a Shedeur Sanders believer at any point through the pre-draft while he was at Colorado. Never. And I don't want to see him fail. Like, I have nothing against him personally, other than the guy needs to shut up sometimes. But I don't see any world where this goes well for him.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, he comes in and plays half a game, doesn't look all that good.
4 for 16, 47 yards, and 1 interception. I believe if you spike the ball his rating was total rating was 13.5, QBR was 2.4. I believe if you spike the ball into the ground every play, your QBR is higher than that. I'm not kidding. I think it is.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, that's moving on. This is I'll be paying attention next week just because I'm curious, but I'm not excited. This is going to be a tragedy.
Yeah.
All right. probably the most influential game of the day. The Denver Broncos play the Kansas City Chiefs, beat the Chiefs 22-19. Ugly game for both sides, but this is how the Denver Broncos have been winning games. They have got the defense to do it. You can say for Bo Nix, he wasn't incredible, but he also, I mean, it may be, I feel like there are some people who can argue that this is one of the better games of his career. I mean,
Yeah.
you beat Patrick Mahomes, you don't turn the ball over. I'm not going to say he was incredible, but he played well. He played well as well in situations that you need to. I'm thinking like late in the game, in the fourth quarter when they're driving down to get that field goal, and I think he hits a 3rd and long to put them in field goal range, which is outstanding on his part. So kudos to them. Kudos to the Broncos defense for getting the win there. What do you have on the Broncos? I guess we'll start there.
Yeah, this was the sort of game where the Bo Nix truthers point to it and go, that is it. That is franchise QB elite stuff. Because he was really good, all things considered, situationally, in the stuff that doesn't necessarily show up on a box score every single. I mean, it's 24, 37, 295 looks really good, but it was more so that he in situations they had to have it, he got it. And
7 for 15 on 3rd downs, which is pretty good.
That's great. I think it was more of in the moments that mattered, he was what they needed him to be for the most part. And it turned out that with that defense, they did just enough to hold the Chiefs off. I think you probably have more Chiefs takeaways from this than you do Broncos takeaways. But if you do have a Broncos takeaway, it's that in a game where they have to have it in a playoff environment, because I think, this was a playoff game. The Chiefs had to win, and the Broncos, they didn't necessarily need it as bad as the Chiefs did, but, I mean, you want to go get a win, and when you have the urgency from the other side, and you kind of know, okay, they're going to give us their best shot, and for Bo Nix to still show up and play well in that situation, that, I think, says a lot about where they are with his development and what the Broncos are as a team.
And I think they set themselves up extremely well to win the division at this point. Nothing is locked, obviously. You're still going to have to play the Chiefs again. They still have to play everybody in the division one more time. But they're setting themselves up with the opportunity to do it. The Chargers, I think, still have the lead. I think the Chargers are still 3-0 in the division. So you're going to have to count on the Chargers a little bit to slip. However, with the Chargers offensive line, you really got to, I mean, they're in trouble rest of the season. They play the Commanders next week. Then they go Raiders, Packers, Jaguars, and then they finish Chiefs, Chargers.
Yeah, it's pretty doable.
The window is there for them to win the division.
Yeah, and they're on what are we on? 8-game winning streak. Is that where we are?
I thought they started out 0-2. They did. No. I'm sorry. They are on 8-game winning streak. I thought they lost week 1. They didn't. They played the Titans. You don't lose that game. All right. On the Chiefs side, there's a lot more to talk about. This, I feel like I'm the one on the podcast, weirdly enough, who has not been panicking on the Chiefs. Mainly because they've hurt me so much pulling for Josh Allen, like knowing like, oh, they're going to happen. It's going to happen. They'll be fine. They might not be fine this time. They fall to 5-5. They're 0-5 in one-score games. They're finding ways to lose. They're making mistakes.
Yeah.
In these games. They're making mistakes that are highly uncharacteristic. I'm not by any means like, oh, it's over for the Chiefs. But they've got some problems they've got to figure out. Like, I was on Twitter, during the game and after the game, and I saw a lot of Chiefs fans, and I think this is by far an overreaction, but they were saying, like, it's time for Andy to go, all this kind of stuff. This is so much like when he was with the Eagles and things fell apart. So I'm not there. Don't hear what I'm not saying. But it's extremely uncharacteristic what's happening with the Chiefs this year.
Well, it's uncharacteristic in the sense that they're 0-5 in one-score games, but I wouldn't panic because they could very well win their next 6. I don't think. In fact, they're probably not favored against the Colts on Sunday, but then they're going to be favored against the Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, and Titans. So
I feel like they're going to be favored against the Colts because it's in Kansas City. I think they get the favor.
Yeah, see there, you get the Colts in Arrowhead. I feel like they win that one, and then I think you're going to fairly easily win the next 4. They're a
3.5 point favorite, which I guess you can give that a wash because Vegas usually gives the home team like automatically 3 points. That's just factored into their stuff. So, but either way.
There are even still, they might win their next 6, and there still are things that they've got to figure out. Like, they have made some dumb mistakes. You've got some inopportune penalties. You've got some inopportune interceptions. Can't run the ball for nothing. They
cannot run the ball. That's a problem. That's a real problem.
Yeah, they have this issue of being they have haymakers that they'll hit teams with, but they also, in grinded out games, have not been able to sustain drives. And it's been, part of it is penalties, part of it is you have the occasional turnover. But really what it is it's this combination of penalties and running the ball that they can string together. They have scripted drives, I think, where, they have a sequence of plays they'll go to, and it's like, these are, this is going to work. This is our A+ stuff. But when you have these games that are grinded out games and you have to go and do what they've been so good at doing over the past few years, you just sort of trade body blows, and at the end of it, who's the last one standing? It's always been them. They just can't run the ball well enough to stay, slightly ahead in some of these matchups. And they're not ever getting KO'd, but they just, if they don't come out and smack somebody in the face with a haymaker, they haven't been able to be in, just ahead of their opponent at the end of a game, and they've come up short. Even still, 0-5 in one-score games is pretty fluky. It's like they should have probably won a couple of these games, and they haven't. And it's a little weird because it's Mahomes and the Chiefs and Andy Reid and all that, but even still,
you could probably say this is nature balancing out as well because they were 11-0 in one-score games last year. So you could say, too, from the other side of the coin, they probably should have lost some of those games.
Right. They should have. And it has sort of flipped back the other way this year. But you've got the full complement. You sort of know what you got, and you got to figure out ways to be in better situations in the fourth quarter in some of these games because, down the stretch, they got to play the Broncos again. They're going to have to play honestly, the Colts on Sunday,
I think, don't they?
They do.
They still got 3 division games.
Yeah, they do. I think this Colts game on Sunday is really important in terms of setting yourself up for the stretch run.
You could argue it's a little bit of interaction, but I don't think it is to say that this is a must-win game on Sunday against the Colts. They need this win on Sunday.
I think if for in the building you do, I don't know that mathematically it really is a must-win because the rest of their schedule is kind of soft after the Colts. Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. So you got one tough game after the Colts the rest of the way, unless you really think the Cowboys are something special. I don't know that that's
I don't think the Cowboys necessarily win that game, but the Cowboys we'll talk about them in a little while. They're kind of proving to be maybe a little bit better than we thought. It's not, I expect the Chiefs to win that game, but I don't think it's chalk it up W, easy W. It's not an easy W against the Cowboys.
It's not. They might be a little bit of a foil, but even still.
Yeah. It worries me a little bit. And I was really surprised late in the game when the Broncos were driving down and you get that 3rd and long. And Spags is always so good. He'll blitz Lamar. He blitzes Josh. He does all these, insane blitzes on these 3rd downs. and then he drops like 8 into coverage against Bo Nix on a 3rd and long. Why? If you're going to blitz Josh, you're going to blitz Lamar. Why are you not blitzing Bo Nix in this situation?
That was I don't know that in this big moment he's going to be able to process and beat the coverage versus the other ones he wanted to speed him up.
Yeah. I don't know. That surprised me. I didn't get that. But it is what it is. It's not panic mode, but it's panic mode, but it's not panic mode, but it's kind of, we need to sit up in the chair, if you know that meme that I'm talking about.
Yep.
It's time to sit up and pay attention.
Yep.
All right,
sit up straight.
Yeah. Let's focus here. Let's lock in. All right, Eagles-Lions. Eagles win an ugly Sunday night game, 16-9. I'm tired of watching the Eagles. I do not enjoy watching the Eagles.
Yeah, they're disgusting. I'll be honest. They keep winning, but
Their
they are
offense
the
is not
worst
good.
team to watch. Now that the Cardinals have Jacoby Brissett, the Eagles for me are for sure the worst team to watch in the NFL.
Their offense is not good. Their defense is extremely good. So they're kind of the opposite not the quite opposite Cleveland Browns, but the anti-Cleveland Browns, to where their defense is extremely good and they win games with having an ugly offense.
Well, their defense is terrifying. It's the best defense in the league. It's incredible.
Their defense is terrifying, and their offense, unlike the Browns, knows how to win the games in the tight moments versus the Browns completely poop themselves in the big moments.
Yeah. And weirdly enough, they can't run the ball, but they keep doing it.
What's Saquon's yards per carry this year? It's got to be really low.
It's got to be like 3.5, right? Let's see
That's
here.
what I'm trying to look, but it can't be good.
It's 3.8. Yikes.
That's crazy. I don't get it, man.
It's a full 2 yards.
Patullo or whatever
2 yards
the
of carry
offensive
less.
coordinator. I don't know.
He was at 5.8 a carry a year ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's to the point where A.J. Brown is calling out the offensive play calling and all that stuff. He's not happy, but they're not going to change anything until they stop winning. So it is what it is right now.
It's wild. Yeah.
And on the Lions side, I don't know what you have to add, but it's the same thing we've said previously this season. Beating the Lions is simple. Stop the run.
Yep. That's all I had.
That's all I got.
Stop the run. They couldn't run the ball, and they lost. They scored 9 points. Jared Goff was 14 of 37. They were out of rhythm. It wasn't good. Move on.
It's not to the extent of the Dolphins, so don't hear what I'm not saying. But when you knock Jared Goff out of rhythm, when you rough him up and you put him in these tough situations, he just doesn't have the physical tools to be able to overpower that kind of stuff. The running game has to be working. The timing of the offense has to be perfect. Otherwise, he's just not that guy.
It's a rhythm offense. It's not an offense that just sort of can manufacture stuff outside of a rhythm. But if they do get in rhythm, they're well oiled and they will knock you out. But
yes,
on like what you see on Sunday, if you get them in a rock fight, they struggle. It just comes down to stopping the run. I think this has been a recurring theme with them all year, the past few years. It's that if they get into a rhythm running the ball and it opens up play action, they're really tough to stop. But if you stop the run and then you force them to figure out other ways to beat you, they don't have a great second punch if you stop the run game.
Yeah, I mean, they've got weapons in the pass game, but it's just they live and breathe through the running game. And also, sometimes Dan Quinn he's got to kick it eventually. Man, was he 0 for 5 on fourth down in this game?
Dan Campbell, you're going to have to start calling him Riverboat Dan, because he's out there, he's just tossing dice. He's like, we're going to get it eventually.
I'll be honest, I do love watching it. It is fun for me to watch. But sometimes you gotta play the smart play, Dan.
Yeah.
Just every now and then. All right. Lastly, I got nothing. Don't have much here. Dallas Raiders. Dallas beat a hapless Las Vegas team. Dak Prescott looks incredible. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb both look great, even though they got benched for the first drive because they were out partying in Vegas. That's fun.
What a time. What a time. You go to Vegas to play the Raiders, and they're out at the Casino Grand having a good time on a Saturday night.
That's hilarious. But, I mean, Dak's having a very good statistical year, but I don't feel like we're very surprised by that either because,
No.
I mean, we knew their defense was going to be bad, and we knew they had weapons on the offense. So he's 5th in the NFL in passing yards. He's tied for 2nd in touchdowns, 1st in QBR, which is impressive. So, do they make the playoffs? Probably not, but they're going to be fun to watch the rest of the year.
There is no shot they make the playoffs at this point. They're going to have to get over Detroit, Chicago. Let's see. What do we have? 8 playoff teams? Is that what it is?
I don't think it's unrealistic they can get past Chicago. Like I still don't trust Chicago, who's currently 3rd. If the season ended today, Chicago would have the 3 seed. I don't trust that. They're not going to hold that.
Yeah.
But I mean, they'll get over Carolina. Not worried about Carolina. But it's tough. It's not it's not impossible, but it's going to be tough for them to get in.
Yeah, I feel like it would be. They've got a hill to climb.
And it's a tough schedule they've got coming up too. They go Eagles, Chiefs, Lions is their next 3 games.
That's probably an 0-3.
That could be loss.
And then
they
really
still play Vikings, Chargers after that. Winnable games, but not cakewalks either. And then Commanders, Giants should be, win-win, but they're going to have to put on their big boy pants if they want to make the playoffs.
And they have the head-to-head against the Bears, and the Bears smacked them in week 3, so.
That is true. I've got literally nothing on the Raiders. They are complete dog water. I feel bad for Ashton Genty getting drafted there because he is completely handicapped by this totally inept team.
Yeah, they're going to fire the entire. Well, here's the thing. They have a great front office. I read an article on ESPN talking about how the league all views the Vegas front office as elite, but that Pete Carroll and company are probably going to get the boot very soon.
I mean, I don't know why people. I feel like a lot of people had higher expectations for Pete Carroll than they should have. I'm not saying Pete Carroll's a bad coach by any means. I think he is a really good coach, but like they signed Pete Carroll to like a 3-year deal. People were like, "Oh, he's going to turn Vegas around." No, he's not. Why would you think he's going to turn that team around? That team is terrible.
Well, really, it's not necessarily been. I mean, yes, Pete Carroll hasn't been great. The problem, for the most part, has been that Geno Smith has been terrible. That's really your main issue. You have had horrific quarterback play.
How many picks? Geno has to be leading the NFL in picks.
Yep, he is. He's got 13 of them.
13. It's frustrating because it's not even fun. Like you would hope that like if you're gonna have that many picks, maybe he's throwing a lot of touchdowns. No, it's not fun to watch. I would enjoy it if it was at least shootouts, like Jameis Winston level of picks.
Yeah, it's gross, and they have a terrible offensive line.
Yeah, I mean they have building blocks. You got Genty, you got Bowers, but it's time to pack it in for the season. And I mean, they already are obviously, but they're looking to who's going to be the quarterback next year. That's what they're looking at right now.
Yeah, they're going to be drafting one of these dudes high. You might be having yourself a Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza kind of a deal happening there next year.
It's going to be interesting to watch. That's, I think, it. I think we covered them all.
That's all we got.
Any games you're excited for next week, Josh? I can think of a couple.
Yeah, Chiefs Colts. That one's going to be really interesting. I am moderately. I'll check the box score on the Browns Raiders just to see the Shador experience. Kind of curious how that one comes out. I do think
I'm
Bengals
curious.
Patriots.
Eagles, Cowboys. I kind of want to see that one.
Ugh. To be honest, I can't stand.
Just because I think the Cowboys offense can make the Eagles offense have to wake up at least a little bit, if that makes sense. Like the Cowboys are going to make them do something. You're not going to beat the Cowboys 16-6. Not going to happen.
No, you're not. Yeah. I don't know.
And Rams Bucks.
Rams Bucks. Yeah,
fun.
that was going to be the Rams Bucks probably, and Chiefs Colts are the two that I'm most interested in. And then I'll box score watch a couple of these. Panthers 49ers could be sneaky interesting. Mostly because it's like the first time I can remember that.
No, it's not, because they're not playing the Falcons.
You're right. They're going to go out and lay an absolute egg. It's going to be
They're going to get beat 40-0 by the 49ers.
Yeah. It's going to be a game where Rico Dowdle has like 110 yards rushing and Bryce Young has 110 passing, and they get beat 35-10.
Yeah. I'll watch it because it's Monday Night Football, but I have no expectations for the Panthers in that game.
Christian McCaffrey about to have 4 tugs on his former team.
You know, I'm fine with that because I have Christian McCaffrey in the Listener League. You're fine with that because you have him in Mully.
I have him in multiple leagues. It's going to be great.
Yeah. All right. That's all we got for you this week. We will check in with you in week 12 of the NFL season. It's going by so fast. I'm enjoying every second of it, but I hate that it's going by so fast. It always happens this way.
They grew up so quick.
It always happens this way. We will see you guys in the next one.